Okay, Aaron, we got a problem here. If you look up, the roof leaked just a little bit, not much.
Okay.
There was a minor leak in the ceiling
Yeah.
here and in another spot over the dining room area.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
So this floor is dried out really well,
Okay.
but I'm not sure if we can save it or not. So I kind of want to bring you in and figure out what can we do with this. It's got a lot of
The cupping?
the cupping, and then you can see where the boards have come apart here. So what can we do to put this floor back together?
So we see this actually a lot. So I mean, even in kitchens and stuff like that, not from a roof leak, but dishwashers,
Refrigerators, maybe?
Yeah. You know, I saw this one house
What?
in
Yeah.
Bellevue.
Did the refrigerator, like the hose came off the back or something,
Yeah.
and it leaked?
Something about speed bumps. I don't know.
I don't know,
They say
yeah.
like speed bumps.
Yeah.
So anyways, when I see this, and because we have such cold, dry air right now, it's all like dried out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we can get a moisture meter in here, and we can check it and everything else and see where our moisture content is. But at this point, we have some cupping. We have a lot of gapping. And
Right.
gapping is what I'm even more concerned with, because I don't think the cupping is as significant now. When you first came in here, what was the condition of the floor?
The floor was up, you can see, like up right here, this tile,
Uh-huh.
this was up above that tile.
Okay.
It was like just cupped and curled, and you can see it was really bad.
Right.
There were no gaps in the wood at all.
Right, it was all tight.
But it was just all expanded and cupped
Right.
and like,
Okay,
so it
so,
was like crowned, you know?
well, basically what happens is it bubbles up.
Okay. Right.
So because of the amount of moisture in the wood, it pushed against each other. It can't go down, can't go to the right, it can't go to the left, so where's it gonna go? It's gonna go up.
Yep.
So that's what you had.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
Probably 3 or 4 months now.
3 or 4 months.
And then as soon as we closed on the property, I patched the roof up,
Right,
got the water stopped, and then we put a new furnace in and cranked it on
okay.
and let it go.
And God has helped us with this beautiful weather that we have today of -6 degrees.
Yes, exactly.
So everything's dried out. So we have 3 different concerns. We have staining, which is
That's all this black
all the
stuff.
black stuff. We have the gapping, and then we have cupping.
Right.
So as long as the cupping is minor, we can handle the cupping. Not a problem. We can typically do some corrective sanding measures and clean that up.
Okay.
Gapping, we can fill the gaps. We're not a big fan of filling them because what's going to end up happening is they're going to expand, contract, and whatever we fill with is going to become rigid, fall through, and in 6 months it's going to look like garbage.
Right, or you're sweeping it up later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have the dark stains.
Yeah.
The dark stains are my biggest concern. So typically what I would say in a condition like this is we could do a rough cut of sanding, and then we can look at the condition of the floor.
Okay.
Okay? If you're not concerned with the gapping, because I know you're flipping this, and gaps are a characteristic of old wood floors, so yeah, it's gapped, but it's not horrible. Maybe we just have to replace a handful of planks as opposed to ripping out this entire area.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I would say would be the best way to start with
Address
this.
this.
Okay, so it's going to be a work in progress. We need to see what it's going to look like after we sand it with our rough cut to see, well, how much and how deep did that moisture actually absorb into and stain the wood.
Oh, did it stain it? Because I know it was in the basement, it was leaking down there. The
Okay.
ceiling collapsed down in the basement, that's how much water was coming in. And you can see right over here, you can see
Yeah.
that this isn't as bad, but you can hear that
Right.
it's not smooth.
Yeah, but that's cupped. And like I said, the cupping over here is not horrible. So with some corrective sanding, we should be able to handle that.
To knock it out.
Right, and with the amount of moisture that was coming in here, it doesn't surprise me that you have cupping throughout.
Yeah.
So, any other areas of issue?
There's one, we've got, there's periodically there's stain, but you've got like this,
Yep.
and that doesn't look like it's gonna sand out.
That will not sand out. Well, that is a perfect example of a pet stain. So the previous owner either had cats or dogs or whatever, or both, and they had an accident, they never cleaned it up, they didn't know, maybe there was an area rug over here, who knows, okay? What happens with pet urine is actually, it does absorb all the way through the wood and stains it, and that will not sand out. So we would figure on replacing these 2 or 3 planks over here.
Or do a black stain.
The problem with doing a black stain is you're just making that stain even darker.
Oh, really? It's not
Yeah, so it may mask it a little bit, but it's not going to completely eliminate it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't go with black stain. I mean, you're talking 2-3 boards. It's not a huge deal to
cut those out, patching it.
Right, we'll replace that.
And you can see this was also leaking over here, just a little bit.
Little leak.
Just a couple of drops came
Yeah,
through.
okay.
Nothing much. And then this is also, you can hear,
And it absolutely looks like it was a one-time event.
it's like a washboard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, once again, now this is a little bit more cup, so we may actually have to do replacement over here. Okay? But once again, once we're in here, we can check to see how cupped it is.
You're not ripping out the whole floor though.
I'm not
We're
ripping
just
out the
gonna
whole
patch
floor.
in some areas.
No, it's not necessary to rip out the whole floor.
So at some point, the cupping's gotta be bad enough that you're starting to get into the integrity and the strength of the wood too though, right?
Right, so first of all, the cupping has to be bad enough to be too tall. If you sand off too much of it, okay, then you're getting close to that tongue and groove and then you have problems. So the other thing is if it's too cupped and it's wet, you can't sand it. You have to wait for it to be dry. I think this is relatively dry now.
After all these
Right.
months.
So, but if I was to walk into a kitchen, for example, that had a water leak 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago.
From a refrigerator.
Right. All right. What do I do? And what I think I told the gentleman was put a fan on it,
Yeah.
throw a dehumidifier in there, and let's wait
Right.
to see, because we need to get that moisture content within the correct range of the wood. And in Chicago, you're looking at between 6 and 8% moisture content.
Okay.
And like I said, we could check this, and we'll double check to make sure. If that moisture content is elevated, there's a chance that it's going to settle down more, like it did over there.
Right.
Okay? Because that moisture content was probably in the 20s or 30s, if not even higher.
Right.
Okay? This is probably in that 6 to 8, if not even drier, because it's so dry in here.
Right.
So, depending on how badly it is cupped, we don't want to kill the floor by sanding off the edges too much.
Right.
If you sand it when it's wet, you're going to get the opposite effect. So this is called cupping.
Right.
You're going to get what's called crowning. So eventually wood does dry out. A year, 2 years down the road, and what you end up having is little humps throughout your floor that you sanded off the edges, and now the center of the wood is actually higher.
Because it laid back down.
It laid back down on the edges, but the center is now raised.
Right.
So that's something that we deal with on a regular basis. That's why we don't just go saying, we're going to go sand.
Right.
No. We're going to check it, we're going to make sure it's dry, and then we can address it.
Okay. Well, we're going to kind of use this house as a test bed and kind of show you what goes on in different parts of a remodel and what kind of things we run into. This is one of them, is the floor. So Aaron from Mr. Floor is going to help us through this, and hopefully next time we'll check in with you and we'll get all this cut out and show you how that gets cut out, and then we'll show you the last stages of the sanding and finishing and putting it back together and making it look right. So I appreciate your time, sir.
Absolutely, thank you, sir.
And we'll join you again soon.